When most people visit the Maldives, they book expensive excursions just to see sharks and stingrays. But what if I told you that during my stay on Thinadhoo, I could simply walk outside my room every afternoon and watch dozens of nurse sharks and stingrays swimming just a few meters from shore for free? In this video, I'll show you exactly how to get to Thinadhoo, where I stayed, how much it cost, what the beaches are like, and whether I think this local island is worth adding to your Maldives itinerary. To make planning your trip easier, I've divided this guide into chapters. So if you're looking for information about the ferry, accommodation, nurse sharks, the island tour, restaurants, or the Bikini Beach, you can jump straight to that section or stick around for the full experience. Thinadhoo wasn't originally part of my itinerary. During my trip to Nusa Penida in Indonesia, I met someone who later started working at Lumeria Resort in Thinadhoo. One day, she randomly messaged me on Instagram asking when I was going to visit the Maldives. The funny thing was, I had been debating whether to add the Maldives as a side trip after Sri Lanka. So when she sent that message, I took it as a sign that I should finally go. Ironically, when I finally arrived in Thinadhoo, we never actually managed to meet. But thanks to her recommendation, I ended up discovering one of my favorite local islands in the Maldives. One thing I really like about visiting local islands in the Maldives is that you don't always have to rely on expensive speedboats. Since I wasn't in a rush, I planned my itinerary around the local ferry schedule instead. The local ferry to Thinadhoo only operates 3 days a week: Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. But it's by far the most budget-friendly option. The ferry departs from Male at 10 a.m. and arrives in Thinadhoo at around 3 p.m. On the day of my trip, I went to Henveru Ferry Terminal about an hour before departure and simply bought my ticket at the terminal. The fare was only 53 Maldivian rupiah or about $350 US. To put that into perspective, the speedboat costs around $50 US, so the ferry is more than 10 times cheaper. The trade-off, of course, is the travel time. The journey took about 5 hours. It wasn't the fastest way to get there, but I actually enjoyed the ride. Along the way, the ferry stopped at several local islands, giving me a glimpse of places I probably wouldn't have seen otherwise. Traveling alongside locals also made the experience feel more authentic. And as we got closer to Thinadhoo, the water gradually turned that incredible shade of turquoise that the Maldives is famous for. For the next 2 nights, I stayed at Rising Sun Beach View. I chose this guest house simply because it was one of the more affordable places to stay on the island. At the time, I had no idea there was something special waiting just outside. But before I get to that, let me give you a quick room tour. So I paid around $50 a night for this room. It is spacious and it had everything I needed. It came with mini fridge, air conditioning, and I have my private bathroom with an open air shower. So what I like is they provided a mosquito spray, free tea and coffee, and then in the fridge, there's a free water. This is the restaurant where I had my breakfast, and this was the breakfast. I had pancakes, omelette, and watermelon, and some juice. And what I like is that you have the view of the sea while having breakfast. If you are someone who works remotely while traveling like I do, the Wi-Fi here was actually good. One thing I definitely wasn't expecting was what happened every afternoon. At around 4 p.m., dozens of nurse sharks and stingrays would start gathering just offshore, right in front of the restaurant of the guest house. It ended up being one of the highlights of my stay, and something I'll talk more about in the next section. One of the biggest reasons people visit Thinadhoo is to see the nurse sharks. I wasn't expecting to see them quite so soon. After checking into my room, I walked over to the beach in front of the guest house, and almost immediately I spotted a few nurse sharks and stingrays swimming near the shore. A few minutes later, someone approached me and asked if I'd like to have a drone video with the sharks surrounding me. It cost $20 US, and of course I said yes. As everything was being set up, I noticed a crate filled with fish scraps behind the beach chair. At the time, I didn't think much of it. I was just excited about the experience. The drone videos turned out amazing, and they're honestly some of my favorite footage from the Maldives. It wasn't until later that I understood why the fish scraps were there, and I'll come back to that in just a bit. Not far from my guest house is Plumeria Resort, one of the largest resorts on the island. Even if you're not staying there, it's worth walking over to see the beach and the facilities. Every evening at around 6 p.m., dozens of nurse sharks gather near the resort, attracting both guests and visitors. While I was there, I saw members of the resort staff throwing fish scraps into the water for the sharks. That's when I realized the fish scraps I had seen earlier during my drone shoot weren't just for the photos. They were part of the reason so many sharks gathered around the island each afternoon. Seeing the sharks up close was still an unforgettable experience. But after returning home, I learned that wildlife feeding is a controversial practice because it can change the animals' natural behavior and make them associate people with food. I still wanted to share this because it's something you may encounter if you visit Thinadhoo, and I think it's helpful to understand what's happening behind these incredible wildlife encounters so you can make your own informed decision. You might be wondering, what do you actually do on such a small island? Honestly, I didn't spend all day sightseeing. I arrived in Thinadhoo in the afternoon, spent one full day on the island, and left early the following morning. Since I work remotely while traveling, I spent most of my full day working. Once I finished work, that's when my favorite part of the day began. One thing I absolutely loved about Thinadhoo is how compact it is. According to my Strava, I walked almost the entire island in just 31 minutes and 55 seconds, covering about 2 kilometers. That means you don't need bicycles, golf carts, or taxis. Everything is within walking distance. So let's take a walk around the island. One thing you might be wondering is where to eat while you are in Thinadhoo. Since the island is home to a few larger resorts like Plumeria and Ekubu, you'll find restaurants there if you're looking for more dining options. But if you're traveling on a budget like I was, there's also a local restaurant near the jetty where I had dinner on both nights. I honestly can't remember the names of the dishes, but they were both tuna dishes and I really enjoyed them. For lunch, I usually kept things simple. Because the breakfast at my guest house was quite filling, I wasn't very hungry, so I just grabbed cup noodles from one of the convenience stores on the island. Even though Thinadhoo is a small island, I never had any trouble finding something to eat. One place I kept coming back to during my stay was Thinadhoo's Bikini Beach. It quickly became my favorite place to relax. The water was crystal clear, the beach was peaceful, and there were beach chairs where you could sit back and enjoy the view. It was the perfect place to end the day while watching the sunset. If it's your first time visiting a local island in the Maldives, remember that bikinis are only allowed at designated bikini beaches like this one. Outside these areas, it's respectful to dress more modestly. This might surprise you. I never booked a single island hopping tour while I was here. Normally, that's one of the biggest reasons people visit the Maldives. But honestly, between working remotely, swimming every afternoon, watching sharks, walking around town, and enjoying the sunsets, I never felt bored. Sometimes the best part of traveling isn't doing more. It's slowing down enough to enjoy where you already are. After 2 nights, it was time to head to my next island, Ferry. Since I needed to arrive much earlier in the day, I took the speedboat this time instead of the local ferry. The ticket cost $50, but it saved me several hours and made it possible to catch my next connection. If you're interested, I'll be making a complete guide to Ferry as well because it has a completely different vibe from Thinadhoo. So, would I stay in Thinadhoo again? Absolutely. If you are looking for a peaceful local island where you can experience beautiful beaches, incredible marine life, and a slower pace of travel without spending resort prices, I think Thinadhoo is one of the best choices in the Maldives. Whether you're traveling solo, working remotely, or simply looking for a more authentic local island experience, I genuinely think this island deserves a spot on your itinerary. If you have any questions about Thinadhoo, leave them in the comments below. I always do my best to reply and help with your travel planning. And if you're still deciding which local island is right for you, don't forget to watch my Complete Maldives guide, where I compare different islands and share everything I learned from traveling around the country. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.